I'm going to talk about corn. And I'm here to tell you there's a huge yield gap between the yields that what most growers get and what is possible. And those yields that are possible are demonstrated by the winners of the U.S. National Corn Growers Contest. You know, they have 18 winners in different categories. And last year was a very good year for your yield in the National Corn Growers Contest because every one of the winners exceeded 300 bushels. Every one of them. So if the U.S. national average is around 170 bushels, you know, who knows? Last year, every one of the U.S. national corn growers exceeded 300 bushels. 6 of them exceeded 400 bushels. And last year, there was a new world record for corn. 503.7190. I mean, this contest is so competitive that they carry it out to 10,000ths of a bushel. I don't know if the corn growers got that significant digit lesson in, you know, science class, but I'm going to say that's damn close to 504. It's a new world record. And it was by a guy in Georgia. Okay, I knew they had peaches in Georgia, and I was pretty sure they had peanuts, but I didn't actually know they grew corn in Georgia. This guy shows that it can be done. 504 bushels, it's a new world record, and it's way in excess of the national average. Now, I get an opportunity to talk to these growers, and I try and figure out, you know, what their strategy is. And they don't tell you everything. They want to hold back a few secrets. But I'll tell you the general approach that growers who win this contest use. And their general approach really starts with better plant nutrition. So what they really do is they feed a higher population, a higher density, and protect of the best hybrids. And so what every one of these winners will tell you is the plant can never have a bad day. Has to be happy all the way through. Never stress. Any stress whatsoever decreases that yield potential. And so, you know, I'll tell you, I'm in the education game, and the way I want to try and increase yield is what I call intelligent intensification. And so, and my idea is I'm going to put together those factors that I know each year have a positive impact on crop yield. And that's my so-called 7 wonders of the corn yield world. It's those management factors that each year have a big impact on corn yield. Now, there are a few table stakes, some prerequisites, some things that are crucially important, but that don't necessarily add yield. I mean, my state would be a swamp if it wasn't for tile drainage. And weeds don't add yield, by the way. There are, honestly, people that think mixed communities of plants are more productive than monoculture. I call them ecologists. Or maybe they're cover crop specialists, I'm not sure. But I'd rather not have any weeds or pests. And I'm going to harp on this one a little bit, soil fertility. But these are the prerequisites. Given that, then, my 7 wonders of the corn yield world, it ranks those factors that each year can have a positive, and the bad news is sometimes negative impact on corn yield. And I know a lot of you have heard this before. I mean, gosh, I've milked this puppy to death. But hopefully it's still valid. So, you know, with no further ado, here's the ranking of the 7 wonders of the corn yield world. So I rank these here. I can give each one of them an average bushel per acre value. Now, a nuance of these wonders is they all interact with each other. This is what vexes the farmer every year. They all interact with each other. And as a general rule, the higher you are on the wonder list, the more control you exert over those wonders below you. I mean, weather rules. Everybody knows that. When any of my grand agronomic schemes don't work, you know, which sadly is fairly often, I just blame the weather. So the weather rules. Pretty sure that's why Monsanto spent, you know, $1 billion to buy a weather company. And if you think about nitrogen, every single thing about it is influenced by the weather. Can we apply it? You know, is it available? Is it lost? It's the example of a weather-nitrogen interaction. So all these things interact with each other. I've given them an average value. Of course, it's an average. Sometimes the the average is a pretty large range. And the way this story goes is, if you have the average value of all of the wonders, you should be able to grow 260 bushels, which, by the way, is fairly routine these days. And of course, to get more, you got to enhance the positive interactions among these things.